All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. I'm going to make a quick one here. There was a request to look at GameStop and AMC one more time. Clearly, really big day. I would say on both, actually. I think GameStop looks a little bit better for a couple different reasons, but again, big days today, all right? And I mentioned this yesterday. That was a really interesting doji on game. I'm pretty sure I even used the word interesting doji. Boom. On actually both of them and Peggy as well. Yeah, let's look at Peggy real quick too. I wasn't planning on covering it, but you can see interesting doji on this one as well, near a moving average. GameStop had the almost identical doji over these two and near a resistance. When you have a doji near an important line, generally the next day is going to be big, and it kind of was on both, and we actually saw both sides of the coin on GameStop and Peggy. And then AMC, I'll get to this one shortly in the video, but AMC has been battling this 520 line for a bit, all right? It was obviously a takeoff point that got us over 10 plus, right? But that didn't hold, that couldn't break, that couldn't break. Let's see what this one can do, right? That's pretty much the story here, all right? But excited to talk about these for sure, but before we do go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can, please subscribe to this channel. Share this video online with your friends. Comment good or bad if you disagree. Look, anything you can do helps so much with these YouTube algorithms. But hey, just being here and giving me your time is super appreciated. All right, so yeah, look, again, I think there's a decent amount of things to like on GameStop, and I think the best place to start is how I started the video. Yesterday's candle, all right? I rarely talk about candles. I am not a candle guy. I'm a break a line, lose a line kind of guy, right? But if there's one thing I've learned is the doji is a really important candle, all right? It just look at this. Let's click in the box, all right? This thing opens at 26.46. It runs all the way up to 28. It falls all the way down to 25. It ends up closing a couple pennies where it opened, right? And that amount of uncertainty just screams, let's see what tomorrow tells us. And that told us a good thing today. We literally saw the polar opposite of it on Peggy. Doji, and I mean textbook doji. This thing literally opens and closes on the penny. It runs up to 23, runs down to 21. Let's see what tomorrow tells us. And hey, we saw a minus 12% here, right? A plus, I think, 19 on game. So it's real common to see double digits on a day after the doji for sure, all right? It seems like we are trying to maintain this 8 and the 20, all right? It is not something we've confirmed just yet. Yes, this was a good candle over it. Yes, that was still another one. And then yes, this is obviously a third one, but there is not a good back-to-back here that makes me believe, look, that doji to this candle, that's not a confirmation. This day right here opens at 40 and closes down here at 20 something, right? Like more people lost 33% that day than they actually did much else, right? So that's about, or 25%, excuse me, nonetheless. That's not a good one too. That actually is not a good one too. I need tomorrow to confirm. Tomorrow needs to break 33.50. If we can break 33.50, the next place I would expect this thing to do is go to 45, all right? But these are good channels right here. These are very fast up and downs, and let's see what it does. That's a nice positive MACD. That's a healthy 41 on the RSI. It wasn't that long ago we were, goodness, in the high 90s, right? And once you can break the 50-day line on the volume, oh man, big things can happen, right? So I would love this thing to go to 100 million tomorrow. If we can see 100 million shares traded, that's probably going to do some big things. If I want 100 million in a 7-hour day, I want basically 15 and 30. That's what I'm looking for in the first 2 hours, right? 15 million the first hour, 30 million that second hour. Let's make that happen. GameStop can be doing good. It looks like it's going up after hours. I would say nothing crazy significant, but hey, it's nice to see. I'm not going to pretend that, right? But again, don't get too caught up on post-market or pre-market, actually, right? Regular hours matters to me a lot for a reason. So I'll look at the weekly, I guess. Yeah, I mean, look, we are over all the moving averages. Not the prettiest of candles. Again, not really a confirmation, but yeah, this looks good. That's a nice MACD. It's a little bit of a high RSI, but hey, it's not even in the 80s yet, right? So we might still have another week here going, and that's some nice sustained volume. That really, really is. It's been a nice, just sustained growth over the weeks, right? So game overall is looking good. I think the big story again is we got to confirm. We haven't done it yet. Even on this takeoff, you can kind of see it. That was probably the last back-to-back bunch of dojis and some good ups and downs, obviously, but nothing really back-to-back confirming. That's really the only thing that's been lacking on this game chart, all right? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Let's come into AMC really quickly. And AMC, all right, this thing is over 4 of the 5 moving averages. And I mean, that's a really, really bullish thing for sure, right? But this 520 line's been a really, really pesky line for what, 1, 2, 3, almost a full 4 weeks now, right? So that actually seems like it's been the story on this thing, all right? Real quick, if you can subscribe, if you can share this video, it does wonders for the algorithm. So I'm zooming back real quick. I'm zooming back. Is there more? Not really. And again, we've seen the reverse split, right? So maybe that was a little bit better pre-split and might have lined up there, but it's interesting to see this line be that hard. That's a very insignificant little green in a sea of red. That should be nothing. I was zooming back because I was really hoping to see some like historical something on that line. Like I said, maybe before the reverse split, it would have like done a little bit on that past chart. But I'm really surprised to see that 520 is difficult to break. I am actually. I really am. That said, it's a no joke line, all right? And we can't just assume that it's going to break, but this was a pretty good setup for today. I would say, echoing the GameStop comments, there really hasn't been a great confirmation on any of this. That's a good single candle. That is not confirmation. This is a candle that opens up here at 11 and falls all the way down to a close of 6. Like, that's a 50% loss in my eyes, right? So that is not a good one too. And then you can see we barely have any back-to-back greens, and the only ones we really do are insignificant and insignificant, right? So this is very much lacking confirmation, but we're staying over the lines. Like the 20 and the 100, you can give it to either, it doesn't really matter. It brought us back up, and we're holding the lines. We're staying over them all. We're hunting this 200 right now, right? Like, if we can break 520, the expectation would be we're coming up to the 200, looking around 640 right now. Maybe it'll come down to like 620 tomorrow, if I had to guess, just kind of making up that slope, right? But look, I think where GameStop goes, AMC tends to follow. Today was obviously a good day for GameStop. That one still hasn't confirmed. If that one does, I would kind of assume this one would, all right? The one other difference with GameStop, you can see Game actually smashes the 50-day line. It gets over it and then some, right? Could be better, but definitely at least does that. AMC couldn't do it. I actually got to click in. AMC was under the white line. The white line, the average 50 is 61, almost 62 million shares. We missed it by almost a full million shares, right? Like, we're at 60.7 instead of 61. So we're actually under the white line. And that's why this thing wasn't able to do a little better. And that's why it wasn't able to get over 520. So I think the magic volume number is going to be this. What were you? Wow, you were 140. I think I'd be okay with 115. Obviously, 140 would be that much better, but 100, let's find it in the middle. Let's do 122. If I want 122 million shares in a 7-hour day, we're looking for anywhere between like 15 and 20 million in that first hour, 30 to 40 in that second hour. All right. If we can hit those numbers, I think some good things can happen here. This needs volume. This needs GameStop to do well, and this needs volume. Hell, let's be honest. If GameStop does not do well and everyone floods to here, volume is going to be the most important thing, right? So 520 needs to go. This one's coming down after hours, not going up like GameStop. But again, I think that's insignificant, just like I thought the going up was insignificant on the other one. We need volume here to smash that 520. Let's come into the weekly. Look, this is a good weekly. This is a weekly chart that's been struggling to get over the 8 and the 20. We still haven't confirmed it, but it looks like we're about to golden cross actually on the weekly. That's a nice healthy 56. Not quite a positive MACD, but it's close, right? GameStop, I believe, yeah, it's a very positive and a very divergent line. Higher RSI though, so some differences between GameStop and AMC that I just at least wanted to highlight. But yeah, this is knocking on the door. There's a lot of red on this weekly as well, right? So 520 is that door this thing needs to smash. All right, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. Hey, thank you so much.